more than happy to show up. You let me know if you're showing up. We can hold hands and skip and play tic tac toe if you want, buddy. We can play hopscotch. We can play all kinds of reindeer games if you like, buddy. That's cool. Just understand, you might know a little bit more about my situation because you're a subversive piece of shit. But guess what? I'm gonna fucking play your game. And it's only a matter of time before you seem real worried about me knowing about you and your family. But you're all up in me and my family's business. You seem real fucking worried about it. So, there's people in my orbit are wondering what it is that you have to hide. Or is it that you want to protect your family, which is a wise thing to want to do? That's a reasonable reaction to.
It is reasonable to stay anonymous. Uh, yesterday, someone outed the name of one of the people on this panel, the real name. And I get it. Some people, like generally specific, they put out their real name. That's fine. Vegas Vips, we don't know his real name. Brick Jones, we don't know his real name. Muxer, most of you don't know his real name. Uh, I'm not even sure if Burns is Burns' real name. David Finkel is not a Finkel. His real name is something else. One of these people on this panel, uh, someone outed his name, or at least alleged to out his name. I don't know if the name they put out was the real name or not, but I'm thinking if they go by a name like Finkel when the real name is Norman, sorry, Norman. Okay, when the real name's not on YouTube, like Vegas Fips, Finkel. I'm guessing Brick Jonesy. Brick's not a. Is that a real name, Brick? Anyway, I'm playing kind of coy, playing dumb. I know very well which one of these people's real name was put out, and I thought, yeah, that's not really cool. If they don't want the real name out there, there's no reason for us to put it out there. And it could be for very good reasons. Vegas Phipps once told me it's because I don't buy it, but he tells me he runs a business and he doesn't want his YouTube activity to get involved with his business. Okay, all right, whatever the reason is. There's good reasons to stay a little bit on the anonymous side on the interwebs. Let's see where this is going.
Any decent father or husband or son, right? But we
I I have to question that. He listed all the reasons why men, fathers, sons, husbands, why they would want to maintain a little bit of anonymity for themselves and their family. Uh, did, I don't know, did you just forget, or do you not think that women might also have the same concerns? Maybe a little bit more statistically in this country. Uh, I don't know, but you listed all the male roles. You kind of skipped over the female roles, but that's okay.
you're intimating that you want to come after my family. You and your fucking retarded gang have been coming after my family for.
I'm I watch G2 on F3. I've watched him on Hill Pirate Studios. Apparently, he's got his own channel. I've never seen anyone talk about going after GS's family. Uh, uh, People have made fun of members of his family. One time, I mentioned two first names, while responding to two first names in one of his chats. He saw me mention those two. I had no idea who they were, but he kind of went off on me because apparently, without knowing it, I outed his two of his relatives. I think mother and daughter. I can't remember. I can't remember the names, but I forgot my point. Let's continue to play.
months now. You played a game for blood, and I intend to collect.
All right, I don't know who's playing the game for blood, uh, but sorry, GS, you just very clearly indicated that whether or not they're playing for blood, you are and you intend to collect. I get it; it's a blind threat. You're not going to collect on anybody ever. Uh, it's internet tough talk. But again, I never heard of them playing a game for blood. But you just indicated that one, you think they are, and two, you are going to collect, which means you're playing the game for blood, whether or not they are.
That's my tombstone quote. You're no Daisy. You're no Daisy at all, G2.
And that's yet another cultural reference that he seems to misunderstand. You're No Daisy by the character Doc Holliday, who was dying a slow and painful death of tuberculosis. Uh, the reason he wanted his opponent to be a quote, Daisy, end quote, is because he wanted to end his pain and suffering. He wanted to do it in a gunfight. He thought maybe if this guy can shoot me, he'll end my suffering, and and therefore he would be a daisy. A daisy's a positive thing. Uh, it sounds like GS here is thinking that the reference to Daisy means some kind of tough guy or some kind of quick draw. I don't know. But it seems to be yet another cultural reference misunderstood. Um,
I fucking promise you, buddy, you ain't the Daisy you think you are. Policy, which is an appeal to
I fucking promise you, a little anger there. You aren't the Daisy you think you are. I don't. I don't think that G2 or anybody in G2's orbit, uh, if you use that cultural reference, really wants to put generally specific out of his memory, misery. I'm sorry, long night. Misery. Um, I don't know. I think you're perceiving threats where none actually exist.
emotion.
Yes, emotion.
Of course, Tom. There you go. We got. I don't give a fuck about the truth. Burnsy in there, laughing and mocking and scoffing as the subversive that he seems to be. I'm sorry, the submersive, because he's
I don't know. Bernsey was the most polite presence on the panel that he's reviewing. This panel was, I think, yesterday morning, January 31st in the morning. I don't remember. Maybe Factomatis. He was pretty polite too. And he's also been accused of being a subversive. There seems to be some tongue tying over submersive or subversive. That's okay. This isn't really a dunking. This is an observation, and I'm not using my usual editing tools because I'm packing up for a trip. So I'm using a different computer. Do we want to go a little bit further? A little bit further. We're 8 minutes into it.
he's a submarine. You got anything you want to say to him? No pressure. You don't have to say shit. He can watch
Yeah,
the
no,
video.
I don't mind addressing him because as many times as I've been on panel with him, he's really not of much words. Um, but yeah, that last thing that we reviewed and saw, um, I'm probably gonna make a short of that. And if I don't post it to my channel, I'll probably send it to someone to post. Because you said that Kaiser befriended Cameron and then turned right around after GS asked you, so they were friends. And you said no.
Yes, I remember that. It was part of the craziness. If they're friends, it's a mutual relationship between two people where both consider the other a friend. To befriend someone can and did include in this case was to pretend to be a friend to get closer, to get the opportunities to do the things that we are all very familiar with from reports from Shiz and others, what Michael Kaiser did. Uh, did Cameron think Kaiser was his friend? Probably. Did Kaiser think Cameron was his friend? It doesn't appear so to me. Kaiser befriended him, pretended to be a friend, opened up the doors to friendship, or at least give that appearance. But I think, I can't speak for Burns, but I think that's The differences Burns is talking about, being a friend versus befriending. I can be walking downtown DC and some homeless guy says, "Hey man, you got $1?" and I whip out a five. Uh, he says, "Thank you," and he befriends me. Am I really his friend? No, I'm someone who just helped out in a moment. I'll probably never see or hear from him again. That's less. That's not nefarious, but we're friendly. We're befriending. But actually, let me Google it. Befriend definition. There we go. Maybe we're just all confusing words. Act as a friend to someone by offering help or support. Uh, More definitions. Scrabble points. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. All right. Act as I like that. Act as a friend, not be a friend, but act as a friend. Let's see what Merriam Dictionary is. To become or act as a friend. Okay. In the case that Burns was talking about, I believe he was acting as a friend, not being. But you can become or act. In this case, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I believe we're just not using the words in the same way. I don't think he's being a subversive. I don't think he's putting out double speak. I think he sees befriend as I do, where you act as a friend versus being a friend, becoming a friend. And that's just people's different way of articulation. Like you're a daisy if you do,